So we're on a little leash walking. I've got him on just a regular collar and leash today. My hands-free leash and just his regular collar. I'm still feeding him frequently for walking and heel. When he gets excited outside, he tends to be a little toothy when taking the food. So I'm hoping that, I know that will just decrease once he becomes more comfortable, but I am giving him a little ouch every once in a while if he nibbles my fingers too much, because he's not being particularly careful. Oh, we're very thirsty. Sorry, I should have these went straight from the car. Straight from the car to the walkies. Now we're just obsessed with snow eating. It's ruining our walk, isn't it? Because we're so thirsty. Okay. So I'm feeding him in left heel while we're walking. If he goes out of position, I stop and encourage him to come back. So he's gone out of position, so I'm just going to turn around. I'm going to walk the other way. It's enough snow, I think. That's enough snow eating. He's not very picky with treats. I'm just using the rollover today. It's just like it's a semi-soft dog food called rollover. Beef flavor today. So he's just gone ahead and crossed in front of me, so I stopped walking, and I'm going to encourage him to come through again. He's going over to just mess with that snow. So I'm just very consistent here, and that's, oh, good boy, good choice. And that's mainly what leash walking is. It's just being consistent. That initially having him on that slip harness was very useful for me to gain some physical control, because he was very much like, oh, I'm just going to drag you over. And now that he's had that experience for the last couple of weeks of being on that harness where he can't really drag, it's really improved his ability to walk on leash here. Yes, there's a person there. Let's go. So I don't want him doing that dragging to eat the snow either. We'll do a nice sit here while this person passes. Yes. I'm going to mark him for looking at me instead of the person. Yes. Yes. So I'm marking for engagement here. He's very distracted by the outside environment. Yes. And I want him rewarded for focusing on you. Yes. Good boy. Okay, and then I'm going to get him to start walking. I'm going to say, okay, let's go. And then we're going to start walking. So I say, let's go, to tell him that we're going to start again. So that he knows when I'm going to start walking, if we've stopped. Sometimes I will allow him to do a nice sniff and pee. So this tree, he's peed on several times. So I'm going to let him stop here to pee. So we'll see. You want to go pee? So I will sometimes use go sniff or go pee as a cue word to tell the dog that they're free to go off the sidewalk and go sniff the thing. Especially if I know it's a favorite spot. And for male dogs who like to mark, obviously like trees and poles and like obvious things off that are sticking out of the ground is a nice spot to do that. And you'll know that he has certain things he likes to pee on in your neighborhood. So I will release the dog. Okay, go pee, and then let's go when we start going, so that they don't make the choice themselves, so they're not dragging you over. Come on. And if they do try to drag, then I just won't allow that. I'll just keep walking. Ouch. Nip, nip, nips on my fingies. Gently. Gently, you big beast. Okay? Good boy. Oh, he's crossed over to behind me. So that's good. That's not loud. So when he comes back, then I'll give him a goodie. I'll put my hand away. And he's kind of soliciting treats here. Oh, is that puppy barking? Yes. So when we hear barking, I feed him. Again, teaching him to disengage from the environment. And when we stop at corners, we always sit. Good boy. I'm gonna go across. Go ahead. Let's go. So using that word again to tell him we're gonna start moving. There's someone shoveling over here. Yes. So he turned back to me. That's what I want. So I reward that engagement. Oops. Oops. So I didn't tell him to do that, so I'm just gonna walk backwards a little bit, get him back with me. Oh, too far. Nope. So I'm using some leash pressure there. I just grabbed the leash. I'm not actually holding the leash, right? He's going a little too far ahead. Good boy. Yes. Morning. Hi. Come here, sniffer butt. Over here. Thank you. Good boy. Yes. Yes. Good. Slow down. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, there we go. Good boy. Good job. Like that bouncing, I don't really mind. It just goes away on its own if you don't acknowledge it. Come on. No, 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 no. I know you're obsessed with the snow. Yes, we heard a little dog barking. So we're getting the goodies for that. So I'm actually just stocking my hand with treats and then putting it in my pocket. It's just cold. I don't want to have to reach into my treat pouch every time. It's just easier for me to stock my hand and put it in my pocket. And if I have it just kind of in front of his face, he'll just kind of be following the food, and I don't really want him to do that. I want him actually using his brain. Good boy. So I stopped walking. He went a little too far ahead, and then he comes back on his own. He's a smart cookie. Slow down. Good boy. Nope. Come on. Come on. Let's go. There we go. Slow down. Slow down. Come here. Come here. Come here. That boy. I know it's so hard to walk away from that snow. It's so hard when the snow is there. Anyway, so that's him just on a regular leash on his collar. He's learning to pop back when he feels pressure instead of pushing in, which is what we don't want you to do. No digging in. You can, okay, you can go sniff. I think this is a nice pea spot. That's a good boy. Good boy.